Bishop Emeritus Nicholas Dimarzio of the Diocese of Brooklyn is one of the country's most renowned experts when it comes to immigration issues. Since the migrant crisis began, he's been writing a monthly column in the Tablet newspaper. Bishop Dimarzio joins us now. Hi, Bishop.
Good to be here.
It's nice to have you here. So when you hear about these school gyms, I'm sure you understand the concerns of the parents. I mean, we drop our kids off at school, we trust the adults that are there, you think it's a safe place, and now there are strangers in the school gym. So as Catholics, we know what we're supposed to do, but it's a little more complex than that, isn't it?
Definitely. I mean, obviously they have to be monitored, they have to be careful. I think the poor kids are not going to have gym. They can't go unless they have some alternative. So it is not a great solution to the problem. And it is a problem. You have an influx of people. What do you do with them? You have a city mandate that everybody deserves housing and you have to do something with them. So it is a complex thing. I think they're doing the best they can. It's not going to make everybody happy. I agree.
Yeah. And, you know, everybody's always calling for comprehensive immigration reform. And we've had leaders who've tried to pass bills in the past. They've been unable to. So why do you think that is?
Well, we have a broken political system. There's no compromise among the parties. That's the difficult thing. I remember back in 1970, I go back, well, actually it was 1980, that they had a commission on immigration, and Father Hesburgh from Notre Dame was the chairman of it. And he was well respected by both parties then. Both parties collaborated on it. He said something, though, when the commission finished. He says, if we don't get this immigration situation right, most people from Latin America are just going to walk to the United States. That's what's happened. I think it was a prophet.
Wow.
You know, really, it's what he said.
So it was decades ago. Why
I know.
Can't we?
It's still gone that far. We did you know, kind of a first step with the legalization in the 80s, but after that it got worse. It was all restriction, and there's still the need for workers is here. Certainly the agricultural worker problem is a big one because half of the people that work in agriculture are undocumented. So we wouldn't get our crops harvested if we didn't have them. So we got to look at the facts and say, look, we need to have immigration serve the country, the national interest. But we have to make some changes.
Absolutely. And, you know, do you expect President Biden will issue more executive orders? And if so, do you think, you know, all of the hype around Title 42 being lifted was it warranted?
Well, see, the executive orders are not going to solve the problem. They have to be permanent things. And Title 42, you know, was used by the other administration and used by the Biden administration to keep people out. But it was on the basis of health. Now we have Title 8, which also is helpful in a sense. But now we see most people are not coming anymore the way they were because they realize as soon as you come in, if you're not authorized to come, you're going to have 5 years wait before you could even come back again. And now there are other places where they could apply for asylum, which aren't ready yet, but they're saying they're going to be. But also the countries that are sending most people, Venezuela, Cuba, Nicaragua, Haiti, now they're going to be able to be sponsored in by a family that's here that will act as their sponsors. That's a legal way to come, which will really help because those are the places where they really need asylum, you know.
And you wrote in your most recent column in the Tablet that we need to fix the living conditions in countries where people are leaving so they don't have to migrate. But that takes time, that takes money. We can't even help them when they're here. What do we do?
Well, we got to start to try. If you don't start, you won't get it done. So it is a long-term process. You're not going to, migration is part of the human condition from its almost very beginning. And it won't disappear, but we need to make it more orderly so that people are not bearing the brunt of it.
All right. Bishop Emeritus Nicholas Dimarzio, always nice to speak with you.
Okay, good to see you too.
You can hear more of Bishop Dimarzio's thoughts on migration in his monthly column, Walking with Migrants. Just head over to thetablet.org to read them all.